Good morning. I'm Rick Miller with Inman Farm Heritage Days. I'm here with my friend Jim Sams, who's been a big help to us at our show the last few years and longtime friend back to the days we used to both get up square bales in the field. And even back then, Jim made a big impression with all of us because I know when you're picking up square bales, some people will walk along and sort of slow up and hope somebody else will come along and pick up the bale before you get there. Jim's one of those, I call him a high stepper. He'll step on out there and pick up his bale and probably some others that somebody else should have gotten, but he's a great guy. Turned out to be a really good mechanic. I'm really impressed with his mechanical skill. We're going to hear a little more about this engine here in a minute, but he's really done good. But this engine is sort of represents what our whole Inman Farm Heritage Days effort is about. It's about preserving your family history in agriculture and the machinery and the actual stuff they used. And this is just a perfect example. And there's a long story to it, but we're going to start by talking about this engine. Jim, it's all yours.
All right, so this engine belonged to my grandfather in Greensboro, Florida, my mother's father. They were a big farming family down there. And in 2014, at a family reunion in a shed, I stumbled up on this. I didn't know what it was. My cousin informed me, and I struck a deal with Uncle Max. Uncle Max was the farmer in the family of my mother's generation. And Uncle Max gave me this engine and the cane mill that went with it. This was used to power a cane mill. They were big syrup producers in that area. I think reading one letter from my grandfather to my grandmother, one year they turned 35,000 gallons of syrup out of their operation. This was the engine that powered the mill, and it ran until it broke. This was after my grandfather died. My uncle did not like working with sugarcane, did not like making syrup, but did it until the engine broke. And then it was put to rest. I got it out from under the shed 2014, brought it home and started working on it. The piston was frozen. Took a number of months to get it apart and figure out what all was wrong with it. But it's had a lot of work done to it, a lot on the inside, a lot on the outside, and a lot of contributors. Most of the inspiration to not scrap it came from my acquaintances at the Farm Heritage Day. Ricky never gives up, and there were some people down there that said, "Oh yeah, you can do that, Jim." So their encouragement helped get it where it needed to be. I got it together. It would not come to life. I was introduced to Ernest Durham, who is probably the godfather of oil engines in Pendleton, South Carolina. And he told me, "Jim, you need to be patient. It's been dead for 50 years. I ended up loading it up and taking it to Ernest's house, and he did indeed bring it back to life, and here it is. And my plans are for it to run the cane mill that I'm currently having restored. It's a Fairbanks-Morse Y model. It's an oil engine. It's a 2-cycle engine. Starts like a big model airplane engine. Will run almost anything you put in it. Runs at about, I think it's right at 175 RPMs right now. Starts with a glow plug. Takes about 10 minutes to get this hot enough to crank. I've tried 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes to get it to crank. You might as well wait 10 before you pull it the first time. So we'll get it hot
and be back with you
and fire it up. Yeah, be back in a minute. Oh, this is going to be bad. All right, I'll put the clock on it.
All right.
All right, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to oil what I can oil. I'm going to prime the oiler here to make sure I'm lubricated in the back end. So we'll get that done.
Hey.
Top dead center. I told Rick he didn't have to wear dirty overalls over here today because I thought I could crank it myself. We're going to find out. If we weren't filming, it would have started the first time.
When you first heard it run?
Scared me to death. I didn't know when it was going to come apart or really run, but it was a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
By the serial number, it's a 1921 engine, and I've mentioned the cane press before, but this is the engine that I'm going to use to run the monster cane mill that Keith Rucker's working on down in Tifton for me.
Yeah.
So hopefully Keith is finishing up on the cane mill, and then I'm going to bring it up and figure out how to hook it up. I'll be calling you to get everything arranged so it's actually functional. But this is the engine.
Have you got some kind of clutch set up for it?
No. The clutch pulley was not on the engine, so we've got to come up with a clutching mechanism. Idler wheel, loose, tight pulley. I feel that way sometimes.
Yep. hope y'all got as much enjoyment out of watching this video as we did out of making it. We're trying really hard to produce some videos that are worthwhile and help y'all learn about what we're doing here at Inman Farm Heritage Days. If you like it, if you don't mind, help us out, click that like button and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on the next time.